Let's talk Tanya for the 17th of Teves of a leap year. In yesterday's Tanya, we explained that there are two different levels of tzaddik. There is a lower level of tzaddik called a tzaddik she'eni gomer, the incomplete tzaddik. There's the higher level of tzaddik known as the tzaddik gomer, the complete tzaddik. And we explained that when Rab Shimon Bar Yochai, the author of the Zohar, when he said that B'nai Aliyah, truly elevated people, are very rare, he was talking about the higher level of tzaddik. Why is the higher level of tzaddik, those people who are tzaddikim gemurim, the complete tzaddikim, why are they called elevated people? So in yesterday's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe gave one reason, because it is only the higher level of tzaddik, the complete tzaddik, who manages to elevate their animal soul. And in today's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe is going to give another reason. And that is that as opposed to the incomplete tzaddik, who still maintains an ego, some sort of self-centeredness, some sort of personal identity, although that identity and that ego, the animal soul, is very much suppressed, but it's still there, hidden somewhere. The complete tzaddik has no ego whatsoever. And therefore, the service of the complete tzaddik, when the complete tzaddik studies Torah or does mitzvahs, it is only to give God nachas, to make God happy. Everyone else, when we learn Torah, we do mitzvahs, it's because we have a desire. I want to live a spiritual life. I want to live a meaningful life. I want to have a relationship with God, all of which is possible only through learning Torah and doing mitzvahs. The complete tzaddik has no personal agenda whatsoever. And that's why he's called B'nai Aliyah. These people are called elevated people because their service is for the purpose of the one on high, the most elevated one. Their only focus is on giving Hashem, giving God nachas. And the Alter Rebbe quotes the Zohar, when the Zohar talks about the level of love that Moshe Rabbeinu had for Hashem, and the Zohar compares Moshe Rabbeinu to a child, kibradi ishtadal basar avoy v'imoy, which means like a child who strives on behalf of his father and his mother, and he's willing to do whatever is necessary for them because he loves his father and his mother even more than he loves his own body and soul. That is the love of the tzaddik gomer, the complete tzaddik. Obviously, many of us, when we hear this, we're like, what does that have to do with me? This idea of this complete and utter selflessness and serving God only for God's sake seems to be so distant from my reality, and that's true. This is the level of Moshe Rabbeinu, the level of the complete tzaddikim, which, as we said yesterday, complete tzaddikim are very rare. But at the same time, we do have to understand the fact that Alter Rebbe did include this idea in Tanya, and Tanya is the Sefer Shel Beinanim, the book of the strugglers, as we discussed previously in the beginning of Tanya, and as we'll talk again, God willing, in the coming segments. And therefore, every part of Tanya has to have relevance to every single one of us, including those who are actively struggling against our animal soul. Which means that even this high level of the tzaddik gomer, the complete tzaddik, this complete selflessness, maybe we can't relate to it completely. Maybe that can't be the complete truth of our service of God. But to some degree, to some level, that's something that we should be aspiring to also, to the degree possible, considering who we are and the level that we are in, to be able to try to put ourselves aside and serve God with the intention of giving Him nachas. So with this, we've concluded the first possible outcome in the struggle between the animal soul and the godly soul. The first outcome is tzaddik. The godly soul has the advantage, has the upper hand. In tomorrow's Tanya, we start chapter 11, and we're going to learn about the second possible outcome of this struggle.